Um, I'm so bad with these sorts of things. My name, well, I guess we'll call myself Frankie, I suppose, the pseudonym. I am going back to school in the coming spring. Not really doing much anything else right now. I enjoy drawing, reading, watching movies, listening to all sorts of music, and playing with my kitty cats, who are all asleep right now. That's all. That's about it. I am 21 years old, and I'm from Southeast Texas. Somewhere around here. Yes, we had. I remember the very first time we had sex ed. It was in fifth grade, and they separated all the boys and all the girls, and all the girls went to the science classroom, and we watched a video called Just Around the Corner. And it was about like all the female changes and your cycle mostly. And I think it was one of those pro abstinence tapes. And after that, there wasn't really much of anything in the schools until around 10th grade. And it was a basic health and drug, and they pretty much covered all the bases. You know, don't do drugs, don't have sex till you're married. And my teacher did have the banana and condom routine, though, so we learned how to put on a condom. That was very interesting. I think that's about it. We didn't really have very much sex education in our schools. Oh, my parents, my father was very Catholic, so he doesn't even talk about sex. Um, and the most my mother ever said to me was to make sure that I didn't get pregnant and that I kept myself clean down there. She did get very upset when she found out I was having sex for the first time, though. She even she took me out of school and she took off of work to take me to my pediatrician to make sure everything was all right. It was very embarrassing. Oh, jeez. Most of my friends growing up were boys, so I didn't really see them in a romantic way, I guess. But the first time I had sex was with my first boyfriend. It was very clumsy and silly. But I do remember the first time I saw a penis that wasn't directly related to me. It was a commercial for a penis pump, and it scared me so much. It was just awful, and oh, I started screaming and crying, and it was just a big old mess. But barely. I just call it like snow math. But I I really didn't get too close to boys. The closest I had gotten before I had sex with my first boyfriend was I had a girlfriend when I was 12 years old, and we held hands and we would kiss, and that was my experience until then. Oh, oh, I was. This was again in fifth or sixth grade. I was at my friend's slumber party, and she was the only one of us that had a fancy cable TV, and we were looking at all the channels, and she told us that in the 400s there were these weird channels that her dad would watch or something like that. and she turned it on. It was one of those Playboy channels or something like that, and it was just
people are so stupid.
This man is pumping away with these two women beside him, and I was just so scared because it was, you know, it was like purple. It wasn't even a skin tone color. It was just gross, and we all screamed and cried and turned it back to Nickelodeon as quickly as we could. It was a mess.
Not while she was 11.
Oh, I thought it would hurt a lot more than it did, but it didn't. It was surprisingly comfortable, and at the time I was mostly nervous about, like, oh god, do I look fat, you know, just silly little things like that, but it was nice. When I was younger, I remember I didn't realize that sex between, you know, a man and a woman involved penetration. I just thought that they like rubbed against each other and then you had a baby. But when I got older and I learned what sex was actually like, I was very nervous about how badly it would hurt when it finally happened. But it didn't. It was actually very good. Very nice. I had fun. Oh, God. Oh, that's a long time ago. I want to say I was 16 years old. And my boyfriend at the time was a year younger than me, I'm ashamed to admit. And after school, we would walk back to his house and maybe watch a movie or something, grab a bite to eat from Sonic, and then go home. But this time, I don't know, it was something extra special. He made me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and we were just having one of those little teenage dream romance moments. And I can't really remember too much about it, actually. He wanted to do it the traditional way and missionary. To start with, I guess it's like, I don't know. I guess he thought that was like the right thing to do. But we ended up, because I was too embarrassed to look at him, so we ended up doing it doggy style the first time. It was all right. For a couple of virgins, we did pretty okay, I think. But we didn't use a condom. That I remember. We did not use a condom, and I was so scared, freaking out the whole time until I got my period. It was awful. It's a big mess. I'm a little embarrassed because I think he could hear me.
Oh, God.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh.
I was standing on the circle. It had a 3-second countdown. Started getting shot at everywhere.
All all the time. That was all either of us wanted to do. We used to get in trouble at school for public displays of affection because we were just, whenever we saw each other, we were just all over each other all the time. Looking back, it's pretty embarrassing because he was very, like, maybe this much shorter than me, and really tried to look like a rock star type, but never could pull it off. But at the time, he was the greatest guy in the whole wide world. We would try to sneak off and do naughty things with each other. Oh, I even, oh God, I got caught by this guy and my younger brother giving him head one time under a bridge. And I thought that that would be the most embarrassing thing that I would do with this guy. But then a little while later, my younger brother caught me again in my mother's laundry room, bent over the dryer. It was very embarrassing. She would. We lived in a different city than the rest of my friends did, and so to punish me, instead of taking away the TV or the computer or whatever, she would take my phone. And I guess she was reading through my text messages because I was just telling my boyfriend goodnight. And of course, he was being all like, ooh, baby, you know, oh yeah, all that stuff we did earlier was so awesome. And she came in and took my phone from me, and not 5 minutes later, she comes back just screaming mad, like, you whore, I can't believe you did this, blah, 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 you're gonna get AIDS, blah, 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 blah. It was all, she was so mad. I don't blame her, but I was, at the time, I was just, oh, I was a mess. I cried all day. But I think now she's come to terms with it a little bit more. I think she just prefers not to hear about it or know about it, any of the things that I'm doing. And I like to keep it that way because she's a very stern woman. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4? 4 guys. 4 guys I've had sex with. And the first was my boyfriend. And I feel very bad about this, but to get back at him, because we dated for about 3 years and he was very unfaithful most of the time. So I ended up getting with 2 guys. One I knew, one I didn't know very well. And after that, I dated this guy over here, my roommate.
Yeah.
Nah. And I guess we had sex.
$20 will do it on Skype.
Shut up.
Tell him I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi.
He says hi. But other than this guy and those other 3, I pretty clean. I've fooled around with a couple of girls, but I don't think that really counts. Or it does count, but we never actually had sex. We just kind of played around. So, yeah. It's hard to describe.
Damn it.
I really, really like just knowing that the other person is enjoying what I'm doing. That's my favorite part, is when they moan, I guess, or just anything to let me know that they're enjoying what I'm doing for them. It's like definitely my favorite thing. But I'm a sucker for the rough stuff too. Hair pulling, neck biting, ass smacking. That sort of thing. Nothing too crazy though.
They score, I score.
It's hard to say. Because I've been tied up before, but not like the, whatever the word for it is, the Japanese rope work. I won't do that. No fire, no electricity, no animals. That is strictly against everything. Ugh, I can't even think about that sort of thing. I can handle a bit. I've even tried a bit of butt stuff before. That's pretty alright. But no, I guess nothing too extreme.
Thanks, asshole.
I don't like. I'm lazy, so I don't like being it's hard to say. Like if the man is sitting in a chair and having to like reverse cowgirl that way, I guess is so strenuous on my legs. I can't keep it up for too long, and I feel bad about it. But it's just like I'm out of shape. I can't do this. And
bullshit.
I don't really like fingering very much on the inside. Makes me feel gross. I don't like having my fingers inside of anybody either. It just feels strange to me. Sorry, ladies, fellas. And I don't like foot stuff. I don't like doing that. I tried it once. It's very awkward. I just couldn't put myself in that mindset. I can't handle it. My my first boyfriend wanted he really liked my lotion that I had. It was like a coconut lime from some Bed Bath Beyond type store, and he wanted me to put it on the soles of my feet and to give him a foot job. And he liked it, he enjoyed it, so that was okay for me. That justified it for me, but it was just so awkward. Like the position and the movement in and of itself is just so awkward for me. It was just weird. Gives me the heebie-jeebies. But he did come in the end, so I guess I did it correctly. So I guess there's that. I like it very much. It feels super great. I just I don't feel comfortable doing it all the time because I want to make sure that there's no mess, I guess. Like I want everything to be very clean and very just right. Everything has to be 100% go for any anal. But it is a bit awkward at first, especially if you don't have the proper lubrication. But most of the time, it's easiest if you do it from behind. Or what I like to do is be on lying on my side, and I guess the guy is in doggy kneeling position or whatever. And that's usually how I do it, I think. It's been a while, so it's kind of fuzzy. Ah. Oh,
I waited for him to come to that door.
Let's see, it was a year ago, sometime around then. It just sort of happened. As cliche as that sounds, it just sort of happened. I was in the middle of some very good sex, and I was just like, fuck me in the ass. This is gonna be great. And it was. It was awesome. I especially like when they finish inside of there. It's very nice. Very good. It's so warm. It's like a.
So are we doing plan?
It's like that warm and fuzzy feeling when you see a kitten or you eat chocolate chip cookies. It's just very warm and gooey inside. Makes me get that warm and fuzzy feeling. And you can go a little bit longer, I guess, because if the man finishes, he's done and he can't really put it back inside of you because there's cum all over the place and you don't want to be pregnant. But if it's in your butt, he can go a little bit more and you don't have to worry about any pregnancy scares or anything. And it's very efficient, very clean way to get rid of cum.
Do you have off the grid and dead silence?
Yes. Yeah. I've got a philosophy about it, and I say if a man is going to give you the gift of his semen, the least you can do is swallow it if you are taking it in the mouth, I guess. Because it's good. It's warm and gooey and delicious. And yeah, I've never. If it goes in my mouth, I swallow. I don't believe in spitting it out or anything. I just always figured it was rude, I guess. More often than not, more often than I'd like to admit, is really irresponsible. But we'll say the pull and pray method seems to be working. Either that or just have them come in your butt. It's great stuff. You ask the hard questions.
Should I leave?
The questions. No, you don't need to leave. Not to boast, but they all fall under the same guy, and I don't want to say, I don't want to embarrass him. Is it okay? Is it Andrew?
It better be me.
It is. I'm just saying.
If it wasn't me, I'd be fine, but I couldn't be in the same room if it wasn't me. I don't
Well, yes, it was you. Don't feel. But the first time I had anal, definitely in the top 3.
Ready?
Hey, when did I come back from Lawton? It was like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I think. I'm gonna say. It was awesome. Oh, I was visiting my family in Oklahoma, and the whole time I'm just ridiculously in the mood, just wanting to come back home and get me some of my roommate's man meats. So when I did finally get back, we went all out. It was super good. Thoroughly good. kind of want some right now. That's not the point. We were supposed to. I think we did a little bit of everything from the side, doggy. I really like sucking his dick. Don't tell him I said that.
There's no such thing as you're killing this game. It's all
I just do. It just really turns me on for some reason.
They're going
because I guess you get to feel it get more erect as you go, and
right there.
I don't know. Most guys seem to really like it, so I really like making the other person feel good. So if I can do that with my mouth, I like to. It's hard to describe. It just feels really good on my tongue and stuff.
Slow this shit down. Let's go positive.
This one's a little bit difficult to say, and there was a time a friend of mine took advantage, or it was non-consensual, and I'd rather not I'd rather not get into that one. But aside from that, I'd have to say the worst was with one of the guys I cheated on my first boyfriend with. The friend that I knew was well endowed, but not very good at keeping an erection. So it was just kind of awkward. It was just very awkward. It didn't last very long, and I was bored most of the time. And then his friend and I had we had sex, and that was pretty awesome. He was half Japanese. Did some crazy shit with his legs, like he managed to like wrap his leg around my leg and like do this. I don't know what he did, but it was fucking awesome. Not as good as, but still pretty good. Oh. Hey, I gotta ask permission. Andrew.
What?
Can I talk about that time with Ishmael?
Sure.
Okay. So, a year or two ago, my roommate had some of his friends over, and they were all playing on the Xbox, and my roommate and I were on the bed, and I was probably doing something on Reddit. I don't really remember, but the long story short is we pulled a blanket over us, and we were trying to be very discreet about it, but his friend turned to ask him a question and looked me in the eyes, right, like mid-thrust, and I think my face gave it away. Like, to this day, I think he knows what was going on.
I told Ishmael about it. He said he wasn't wise. Like, he didn't have to.
Well, apparently he was none the wiser at the time.
Because he brought up the fact that he had sex in front of Mark with Cindy, and I was like, hey man, I had sex in front of you. He's like, no,
yes, we were, oh god, yeah. A couple of times we've Very exciting. Difficult because it's hard for me to be quiet or to keep my face stoic, I guess. Like I'm not being fucked. But it was very good. Very exciting. The, I guess, exhibitionist thrill. Slightly. It was good. I liked it. It's I don't like it. Like I wouldn't ask for it because it's very stressful, but it definitely adds a certain thrill, I guess. But there have been a couple of times when uh, a few friends would be over and be distracted by the video game. Um, Sad to say, even my little brother has been victim to this. He and a few of our other friends were spending the night and got a little bit frisky. Even, I think, his younger cousin was victim to secret sexy times. Sorry, guys, if you see this, sorry. Not often enough. Um, so maybe 3 times a week, if I'm lucky, and 3 or 4 times a week. I think some of it's just to keep me coming back, but I definitely have a huge
libido.
A huge sex drive.
She is ridiculous.
All day, every day. um, at least twice a day. At least twice a day. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Some people do.
Oh, dude, it's fine.
But for me, even once a day would be great. I I don't know. The only time I don't feel like having sex is when I'm sick, like really, really sick. Any other time, I'm good to go. No, I don't like masturbating because, for starters, it feels way better when somebody else does it, and it's too much work for me. It's so it's just too much work because I get the craving for sex with someone else, not sex with myself. So more often than not, I just sit around frustrated, and sometimes I end up posting to Gone Wild. Sometimes I end up just watching anime and having a snack. Sometimes, if I'm really lucky, I get sex. That's great. Oh yeah. I don't like toys. I can't do toys. It just feels so unnatural. So it kind of kills the mood for me. It just doesn't feel right.
Yo, they're charging
And I don't like
building. Camp. It's time to camp.
uh it's difficult to say. I don't like having
the big long building
to penetrate myself with my fingers or anything else like that. I just makes me feel uncomfortable. But I am partial to clitoral stimulation, I guess. That's what I do. If I have to masturbate, I just rub one out. I've had a girlfriend before. She was very lovely, but we were young, so we didn't do anything aside from quick kisses or holding hands or hugging, things like that.
Stay down, boss.
In
Keep each other safe.
High school, I want to say a lot of people were fond of fondling my boobs, and everybody, girls, guys, people I hardly knew would just come up like, "Oh my god, oh you've got such cool boobs," and I just didn't really know what to do, so I kind of eventually became very complacent with it. But a few female friends and I really like boobies, so I'll play with their boobies or pinch their nipples or something. But the furthest I've ever gone was eating a girl out. Because I don't like having my fingers inside of someone. It just freaks me out for some reason. But I have gone down on a girl before.
Well, and that game's really
she seemed to be slimy. I didn't like it very much. I didn't get anything out of it, but she liked it, so that was enough for me. It's just so slippery, and it's so slippery. But I think if I were to do it again with someone else, like maybe a girlfriend or someone I cared about, something like that, I think I'd enjoy it a bit more. But I'm definitely a boob person. I prefer boobies. Love boobies. I feel terrible for this, but I would really like to try an Asian person. I just think Asian men are very attractive, and I've never been with one before, so I'd like to do that one day. I would really like to try being uh, tied up a bit more. I haven't really gone too much into that sort of thing, but I think it would be nice. Just as long as I could still move my legs freely, I guess. Gosh, these questions are sort of so tough to answer. I think the only other thing I would like to try is something a little bit more public, like I don't know, in a park or something, some semi-public place. But other than that, I can't really think of anything. I have thought about like multiple people at one time, like servicing a bunch of guys or something, but I don't think that would work outside of theory. It's just like a sexy thought, but if I ever tried it in person, I would be very just uncomfortable, and I don't think I would like it very much. That's it. I never really thought about it much. I guess it's sort of the controlling thing. Like, I really like being pinned down, or
there's one more coming in.
Like, it's so awkward to say, but a little light choking and hair pulling. Just having someone be in control of me, I guess, is the arousing thought. I like that idea of someone just having their way with me, I guess.
Alright, do what you do, Jason.
And I have sensitive wrists, so if I have anything like a hand or a belt or rope or something like that, it's just like, instant boner. It just feels super good to me for some reason. But I don't think I would like being tied up fully or having my legs bound, because I am a little bit claustrophobic. I don't like the idea of not being able to move freely. I guess.
Just pick a corner and pick a door and have at it.
Oh god. It came to me right away, and I feel terrible because if anyone who knows me ever sees, or when he overhears me, he's gonna be like, "Yep, no, that sounds like her." Um, classroom full of Japanese boys, just all at once. That's the most extreme. Uh, a dream I've had, actually. Dream turned into fantasy, I guess. It's just a classroom full of Japanese guys, one after the other. That's it. Honest. Now, people are you're gonna think I've got some Asian man fetish. That might be true, but uh there is a Korean pop star that I'm very fond of, and
Yeah, we're good.
just
We're good.
being
That shit ain't gonna happen.
like backstage and being with this guy is definitely one of my favorite fantasies. And the third most, because I feel like you're going to ask that, is just crazy, all out rock and roll hotel room destroying sex with my roommate here. There's a hotel I went to in Louisiana that was just, and I went with my family, which was a shame because the room itself was perfect for having sex in. Like, the bed was the perfect height, and it was soft but firm. It didn't have springs, so it didn't squeak like that annoying eek, 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 eek. It had this huge bathtub, like one of those clear showers, they had a step right at the window that looked over the lake that would be perfect for just getting fucked up against. But I was there with my family. It was such a shame. Such a shame. um, I have two separate accounts. One is just for Redditing, browsing, are all food porn mostly, and also on my main account, I really like going through Ask Reddit and answering people's questions. Most of them never get seen or get downvoted, but I like answering people's questions. It's a lot easier than asking my own questions. And my second account is exclusively for showing off my naked body. Mostly my boobies. Uh, when I had first started Reddit, maybe 2 years ago, Of course, everyone somehow stumbles upon Gone Wild. It was up on the front page, and I was like, Gone Wild, what's that? Oh my goodness. You can put naked pictures of yourself. Look at all these pretty ladies. And I don't know. I just had a really sexy picture of myself on my phone, and I was like, you know what? I can do this too, girlfriend. I can post myself on the internet, and I'm gonna get so many upvotes, nigga. But afterwards, it was just mostly getting requests from people, the sort of things those kind of guys would like to see. And for a while, it was pretty nice. Everyone was very polite and civil and not creepy, but eventually the creepy guys come out of the woodwork and start asking for like really personal information or just really like weird. It's like, could you like shoving a whole bunch of stuff in your butt or being with a dog, like really fucked up shit. But nowadays, every time I get bored, I just end up posting on Gone Wild or Gone Wild Curvy now. I'm a bit more chubless. And it's a lot of fun. I like posting for the fellas and the ladies who are there too. I like getting their feedback, and you surprisingly, I've met a lot of cool people through that, and through Chatterbait as well. I was on there once, and I met one of my very good friends through Chatterbait. We always joke about how our relationship is so ass backwards. But it's nice. It's just a good way to kill some time. Um, Most of the requests I get are for to see my face, which I don't mind doing it, but now that I've got a bunch of personal friends on Reddit, I don't want them to see me be like, is that you? Because that's just an awkward confrontation to begin with. But lately it's been mostly just like my boobies and nipples and lip biting and all that good stuff. Craziest request I got was for starfishing, and I didn't know what that was until I got that request. Apparently, you like lay down flat, face down on the bed, and you just spread your arms and legs out. And something I'm not gonna do. That just seems really weird for me personally. I haven't posted anything full body yet or completely naked. I'm a little self-conscious about my tummy, but hopefully I will be posting something like that sooner than later. No. Hey, come here, come get in on this.
No,
Oh, come on.
I'm fine.
He'll have sex on webcam, but he won't show his face during a normal, non-naked interview.
I didn't have sex.
No, I've never had sex on camera. I feel really bad because when I was on camera on Chatterbait, I ended up just talking to my friend and another person who became one of my moderators. We just ended up talking about anime and movies and books and stuff like that. And every now and then I'd be typing, I'd be like, oh crap, you guys, I'm supposed to be showing you my tits. it was just so silly. I've never done anything aside from that on camera. I don't like watching porn because I find a lot of the times the actors and actresses just look they look like they're at work, like they're not really enjoying what they're doing. So I don't really like seeing that. I do usually if I need to get a porno fix or something like that, I go to the subreddit Not Safe for Work GIFs, and that way it's just very cut and dry, very quick, easy titties. And I really, really like looking at other women's boobies. I just love boobies. Or any scene where it looks like the actors are really enjoying what they're doing. That's what I like. It just seemed like so much fun. I was like, yes, I want to have a random interview about my sex life. Sure, why not? I don't care. It's a little awkward that that I have another set of ears listening. Bye. And hopefully none of the other people on Xbox are hearing any of this.
This mic is sensitive. We've been talking about you.
Don't be talking about me, damn. But no, I like answering people's questions, and you were very polite. And that's always a breath of fresh air, because when I look at my messages on my Gone Wild account, sometimes I gotta brace myself for some really creepy, vulgar shit. But it's like a breath of fresh air, like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. It's a normal person. But it seemed like a lot of fun, and it has been. A little bit embarrassing, but a lot of fun.